Welcome to Tarik Talk, a podcast exploring art, culture, and the stories that shape creative lives. I'm your host, Tarik Mendes, and each episode I sit down with artists and creative thinkers to talk about process, inspiration, and the moments that shape who we become. Thanks for being here. Let's get into today's episode. Welcome back to Tarik Talk. Walking into the Whitney Museum during the 2026 Biennial, you quickly realize that not all artworks announce themselves. Some are quiet, some unfold slowly, and some exist so subtly within the space that you might not even realize you've encountered them. The Whitney, with its open galleries and constant flow of visitors, becomes more than just a container for art. It becomes part of the work itself. Curated by Marcela Guerrero and Drew Sawyer, this biennial focuses on relationships, how we connect to systems, to environments, and to each other. It's an exhibition that asks you to be aware of your own presence, not just as a viewer, but as someone moving through space, shaping the experience in real time. And Maia Chao's work brings that awareness into focus in a way that is both minimal and deeply perceptual. Her biennial performance doesn't take place on a stage. It happens within the museum itself, specifically in the 7th floor collection exhibition untitled America. There's no clear boundary between performer and audience. Instead, the work is embedded within the everyday rhythm of the museum. At first, nothing seems unusual. People are walking, looking at art, moving from one gallery to another, but then something shifts, subtly. A gesture feels slightly too deliberate. A pause lingers a bit longer than expected. A movement seems choreographed, but almost imperceptibly so. These are what Chao calls micro-performances. They are small, almost invisible actions carried out within the flow of the gallery. Some visitors may notice them, others may pass by without realizing anything is happening, and that uncertainty is central to the work. Because Chao is not just creating a performance, she's rethinking how we experience the museum itself. Her work is based on the choreography of viewing. The way we walk through space, the way we approach a painting, the distance we keep from an object, the pauses, the glances, the rhythms of attention. These everyday behaviors become the material of her practice. Displayed alongside the performance are scores, sets of instructions that invite viewers to participate in these experiments. You might choose to follow them, or simply observe others who may be doing so. Either way, the boundary between artist and audience begins to blur. You become aware of yourself, of how you move, of how others move around you. And suddenly, the museum feels different. What was once a passive experience becomes active. The space becomes dynamic, shaped by the interactions happening within it. Every step, every pause, every glance becomes part of a larger choreography. Within the context of the Whitney Biennial, this work resonates deeply. This exhibition is not just about objects, it's about relationships and systems. Maia Chao's work turns the museum into a living system, where behavior, perception, and presence are constantly in motion. The Whitney's architecture amplifies this effect. The open layout, the visibility across galleries, the movement of people through space, all of it becomes part of the performance. You begin to see the museum not as a static environment, but as something alive, constantly shifting. And what makes Chao's work so powerful is its subtlety. It doesn't demand attention. It doesn't interrupt. Instead, it invites awareness. You might leave the gallery and only later realize that what you experienced was not just observation, but participation. That you were part of the work, whether you intended to be or not. And within the Whitney Biennial 2026, Maia Chao's practice becomes a quiet but profound reminder that art doesn't always sit in front of you. Sometimes it happens all around you, and sometimes it happens through you. Thank you for spending this time with me on Tarik Talk. If this conversation resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe and share the episode. You can follow along on social media for behind-the-scenes moments, guest highlights, and what's coming next.